Kayla from Kayla Crochet Love, and welcome to episode number 11. If you haven't already, I would like to invite you to please subscribe to my channel. I am almost at 200 subscribers, so any subscription would be great. Share me with your friends if you would like. And also you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Ravelry, all at Kayla Crochet Love, and as usual, that will all be linked down below. Hi everybody! I'm sorry, I'm already parched. It has been so dry in my house and at my work, I find lately. I just need to drink so much fluids. I'm having tea right now. But my throat just gets so dry and then I'm coughing, and I don't want to be coughing, which might happen anyways. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a quick little health update. I'm feeling pretty much back to normal, which thank goodness, because it had been a long couple weeks. Although I did start with a little bit of a cold again, but I've been back at work, but not a lot, so I've been getting rest and whatnot, so my hair is just kind of flipping out today. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, sorry. Anyway, so yeah, I've been doing pretty good. My energy level is still kind of low. I'm still tired and whatnot, but other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. My blood sugars have been getting better, and I go see my diabetic doctor in a couple weeks, so I'm sure I will get more information there. But yeah, so I've been doing pretty good, and I have been doing quite a bit of crocheting the past couple weeks. Not a lot of, well, I have quite a few finished projects. I don't have a lot of works in progress, because I've been pretty much focusing on one, which you guys will see in a little bit. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and get started. So I can't remember when it was. I guess it would probably, I can't remember when I went yarn shopping with my aunts. I'm so lost track in time the past few weeks, but anyways, so I told you guys my aunt got me a little thing to make a hat. So my mom bought one, so I brought it down so you can, I brought it down to my place so you can see what it looks like. So this is what it was. The one I got is red. So it's Rossetti Pompeii, 50% acrylic, 50% polyamide. So that's how we got them. So it came with the pom-pom, and they are just so cute, and they have this nice shine to them. So my aunt bought me one of those, and I ended up making the hat while I was at her place. So I will show you my hat that I made. So I think my pom-pom's a little bit smaller than the one my mom bought, but I don't care. I like it. And I just tied it in so I can take the pom-pom off if I want. So this is the hat, and I just did, so I did my crown in doubles. I did a couple rounds of post stitches. So there's 2 rows of post stitches, then I did half doubles, post stitches, half doubles, and then I did my brim. And this yarn, it's so light, but it's still warm, because I have been wearing it. I will put it on so you can see. I do have a picture over on my Instagram too, but I really like how it turned out. And I love the color. I really like the red. I like the look of red on me. I don't own a lot of red because I just don't. Pink's my favorite color, so I'm surprised I picked the red and not the pink one. But I like the red, just stood out to me. So that is my first finished project. Finished object. Needed some tea. So, yeah. As you know, I don't typically use patterns for my hats. I just kind of think them up as I go. Just because it works faster for me most of the time, but like I said, I made this one at my aunt's, so I could have looked up a pattern on my phone, which I think I looked on Pinterest just to get ideas, and then I just kind of did my own thing. So yeah, there's my hat. And I'm happy with the size of this one. Lately I've been making hats and they've been huge, but this one fits almost perfectly. So I'm very happy with that. So that's my first project. So it's deceiving because it looks like a full ball, but it's actually hollow. So it's has like a cardboard, and I didn't know if I was going to have enough to make a whole hat, but I did. It is, I think this is 50 grams. So it's 50 grams and 159 yards. So I managed to make this hat with one of these. So I was very happy. Put that on my table there. Next I will show you this one. So I actually was working on this while I was kind of down for the week. It took me a few days to make it just because I was crocheting a little slower than I normally do. But it's just a big fluffy cowl. I used Caron Latte Cakes. I don't remember the colorway. I don't have the band, I don't think, anymore. So it's just this nice big fluffy cowl, and it feels so nice around my neck. Because I've been having a little bit of neck pain. I think it might just be from sitting around, but it feels so nice on my neck, and it's nice and long. Because I wanted it so if I needed to, like, I know it looks kind of funny, but if I needed to while I was out, like if I went for a walk, I could wrap it around my head and it would still cover my head. But yeah, I really like this one. So again, this one I didn't use a pattern. I did it in rows, so I did back and forth, and I just did a V-stitch. It's hard to tell because it's so fluffy. So it was worked this way, and then I just sewed it up at the back here. So yeah. But I really like how it turned out, and it's so comfy. I really like working with this yarn. I thought it was going to be hard to work with. I have worked with it once before. I made my grandmother a hat, which is actually, this is the leftover yarn from the cake that I had used for my grandmother's hat. So it goes quite a long way. There's quite a bit of yardage in one of those cakes. So I was very surprised how easy it is to work with, even with the fuzz. But so yeah, here's my big fluffy cowl. Oh, it's so soft. So there's that. Sorry, I'm sniffling all of a sudden. So next I have my little bucket down here with my finished project. So I will just quickly share with you guys that I have, I finished March's Crochet Month Square yesterday. So here it is. And I posted the tutorial yesterday as well. I apologize if that tutorial might have been a little confusing. I had already made the square, so I was doing it on a smaller scale. Hopefully I was clear enough with the rows and the stitches and whatnot. But I really like the looks of this one. I like the colors. I picked green because when I think of March, I think of like St. Patrick's Day and like the lucky clovers and whatnot. So I picked the greens for like a clover. They still need to be blocked. I'll probably block all my squares at the end of the year. I'll just block them all at once after I put a border on them all. So that's this square, and it's literally just granny stitch That's the back. Granny stitch, and then 3 rows of doubles, and then granny stitch around the edge too. So now I have 3 squares done, and I'm already, March's square came out pretty late too, so I'm already trying to think of April's, which will be Easter themed colors. I already have some yarn that I want to use. I just have to think of what I want to do, because I'm hoping I can start getting the tutorials out sooner in the month than at the end of the month, because I find the past 3 have been pretty late in the month. So I do apologize about that. So hopefully I can get them out sooner. Next, so I made this one. This one I had started a while ago. It's just a little shawlette, so it's not huge. So it's just to wrap around my neck. I've worn it once. So I do like how it turned out though. I like the colors. But yeah, I had started this one when I started my second crochet class. I was teaching them how to do this pattern. Just a simple shawl pattern. So I was showing them, and I had been doing the yellow, and then I decided to put some pink in. So the yellow is Estelle worsted, and the pink is Barocco Ultra Alpaca. I have a tag right here. So they're both worsted weight yarns. So the pink's superfine alpaca and Peruvian wool, and then the Estelle is I know it's a acrylic wool blend. I just can't remember the percentage, and the tag for that one is long gone because I've had this one in my stash for quite a while, I think. So, but yeah, I like how it turned out. It's not quite big enough, I don't think, to be a wrap. It'd be like a small wrap. You could, like, it'd be a small little wrap, I guess, for spring or summer. But I wanted it as like a shawl for around my neck. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I whipped it out, the rest up pretty fast, and it's all made with double crochet. That's all. Very simple. Yeah. And it smells nice. I don't think I didn't block it. I don't think. I can't remember if I blocked it. I don't believe I did. But, so there's that one. I've been really into making shawls and cowls the past little while. And I have a little tote that's pretty much already full, because if I have an idea, I'll just make them and I'll throw them in there. And I will be saving them for Christmas time. That way I have gifts already made. I don't have to stress about making everyone Christmas gifts. And that way during the summer, even if I still feel like making a shawl with thicker yarn, I'll just have it for the fall and Christmas and whatnot. So. Okay, I will show you this one next. So this one, I decided to make another one of my ribbed collar bandana cowls. And this one I made using Loops and Threads facet stones. So it's a 4-ply acrylic, I believe. I believe it's 100% acrylic, yep. So it's that one. And I had bought one of these a while ago. I had a coupon, so because they're about $10 and you only get 243 yards, and they're about $10 in Ontario or in Canada. I don't know everywhere in Canada, but at my Michael's they were about $10. So I had a coupon, so it brought the price down to I think $5. So I think it was about 50% off. Something like that. Anyways, I bought it either on sale or with coupon, I can't remember. So, but I loved the colors and I had been eyeing it up for a while. So I didn't know what I was going to make with it. I had been going to make a hat, but then I thought the colors would just line up better with a cowl or something, and I knew there wasn't enough for a shawl. So I made another one of my bandana cowls. And this colorway, I don't know if that's the name of the color. I can't pronounce it. Or I don't think I'll be able to pronounce it. I think that's the name of the color. I'm not sure. But it's pretty. So I will put it on. And I did post this one on my Instagram too. So this one, I made the collar quite a bit bigger than my other bandana cowl. Just because I wanted something more snug. And I think once it washes, it'll kind of flop a little bit more. But I decided to make another one. And this pattern is my own pattern. Again, it's available for free download on my Ravelry. I will link it down below if I remember. But yeah. And I really like how it's a cowl, so it won't come off, but it has the kind of look of a shawl. In a way. Like it has the the V of a shawl. Sorry, my phone's going off. But yeah, super simple to make. And it's very comfortable to wear. I've worn my other one quite a bit. But I just love the colors of this one. I'll probably keep this one for myself. Unless I know someone who really wants it. I'm just trying to fix it. I didn't block it or anything, so yeah, there's another finished project. So very pretty. I like that one a lot. I'm very happy with that one. Ooh, almost knocking stuff off. So I have one more finished object. And I am very happy that these are done. So if you saw some of my first episodes I ever did, you will have known that I was taking a two at a time toe up sock class. That was about, I think, 5 or 6 months ago. And I had just stopped doing them. And it's not that I didn't want to finish them, I was very determined to finish them. However, a lot of other projects got in the way. Or not in the way, but I wanted to do a lot of different projects first. And with this pattern, it's an afterthought heel. So you knit a tube sock, and then we knit in like a lifeline kind of thing. So you take that out, it's a scrap yarn, you take that out, you pick up the stitches, and then you do your heel. Well, I was very afraid to do that. I was worried I was going to ruin the whole sock. So I kept putting it off, and I wasn't quite done the ribbing yet. And I didn't follow the pattern exactly. I ended up making the sock shorter, because I don't like really long socks. I like more like ankle socks. So I ended up doing a smaller leg, and then the cuff is small as well. And you can tell that this was one of my first knitting projects, and you can tell, especially when you get to the cuff. I had a couple more rows to do, and my tension is so different than it was then. But once they're on, they look totally fine. So I'll show you one. I don't have sock blockers, so I just have to show you like this. So I had them blocking, so that's why there's a line with the afterthought heel. So There's one. And if you'll remember, the yarn I used, so for the 2 at a time, you pull from the center and the outside. The yarn that I used, the colors were opposite, so they will be, as the instructor said, fraternal socks. So they're related, but they're not twins. So, and then here's the other one. So you can see they are very different, but I love them just the same, and like, they are far from perfect. There's little holes in here, and you can tell as my tension got better. So the tension in my heels is like perfect, whereas the rest of the sock, you can see there's little parts there, but I really like them, and once they're on, you can't really tell. I haven't worn them yet because I wanted to show you guys first. Well, I put them on and I put pictures on my Instagram, and then I blocked them. So yeah, those are my socks. I am finally done my first pair of knitted socks. So the pattern, I forgot to grab the pattern, but it's 2 at a time toe up socks. So it's the, I believe they're called the pie socks, as in 3.14. And they're by Knit O'Clock or something like that. I can't remember 100%. I'm pretty sure the pattern's on Ravelry. If I remember, I will link it down below. Like I said, I followed it most of the way, but I did change the length and the length of the cuff a little bit. Everything else is done that way. Really quite easy pattern. I don't think I would make socks 2 at a time again. Although it's nice to see that they work up at the same time. It was tricky because you have to make sure you're dropping the correct yarn and whatnot, the correct color and whatnot. So I want to try making it just 1 at a time and see if it's any better. The one nice thing too about 2 at a time though is that you don't have to worry about your tension being any different, but I don't know. I'll probably play around eventually, maybe during the summer when it's warmer, and excuse me, see how it would come out doing it 1 at a time. So for these I use the magic loop method. I've never used DPNs and I probably won't. Well, I won't say that. I might try it someday, but I like the magic loop, so yeah, my socks are done. I'm so happy that they are finished and I can strike another one of my works in progress off the list. Not that I have a list, but you know what I mean. So, I'm done. Oh. So that is all I have for finished projects. I say that's all, but that's quite a few that I've done the past week, or 2 weeks, sorry. And I'm quite impressed with myself, that they've been working up pretty fast. So that being said, I only have 1 active work in progress. If you guys watched my yarn haul video from a week or 2 ago, I was talking about, I showed you guys the fingering weight yarn I bought. So I started that project. So that project is, just gotta get out. I wasn't going to show you guys, but I'll just show you guys anyway. So it is the Hiking Moose Cowl. And it's the twistedyarn.com. It is a free pattern. I will link it down below. And it's tapestry crochet. So that's the cowl there. It's very pretty. Get my head out of the way. So this cowl is made with fingering weight yarn. So there's, I'll just show you the picture of the mannequin. So it's a long process with fingering weight yarn. I believe I think it's 70 rows of tapestry crochet. So you get a chart. I won't show you the chart just because that's the actual pattern. And it's quite easy. It's just a little tedious because you have to count the squares. And the only issue I'm having, which is literally the only complaint I even kind of have about this pattern, because it's quite simple, is it's hard to see some of the squares. So I actually sit there and count each square, and I'll write down how many I've counted. So I'll show you what I've done so far. I haven't done a whole lot. So I'm using Drops Nord. This is a alpaca wool blend. And then Manos del Uruguay Alegria. And this is just, this is a superwash merino polyamide blend in the color Carnival. So I'm using these two. So yeah, like I said, I haven't gotten very far. Just gotta make sure I don't lose my stitches. So this is all I have done so far. So there's not a whole lot. And it is curling a bit because I'll have to block it. So I have the ribbing done down here, and then the pattern starts up here, the color pattern. So you can't really tell what it is yet. So I've only worked on it maybe 3 times so far, and I can usually do a couple rows or a couple rounds, but it's 188 stitches, I believe, around. So but yeah, so that's what I've been pretty much working on for a little while. Some of the projects I finished, like my cowl, I was taking a break from this because it's fingering weight yarn. It's very small. So here's one of the, oh no, that's the wrong one. I'll pull out the other one. So I ended up having to, my yarn ball winder decided to, didn't want to work properly anymore. So my cakes keep screwing up, so I ended up ordering a new ball winder because this is not how the cakes are supposed to look. So, but yeah, I love the colors though of this yarn, and it's supposed to look like a sunset, so I think it's working pretty well so far. So that's that. Like I said, I haven't made a whole lot of progress yet, but I'm enjoying it. It's a project where you need to concentrate a little more, obviously, because you need to count, but I'm still able to do it while watching TV or whatnot. So so yeah, that's my only work in progress. I haven't touched anything else. I haven't touched that little shawl I started. I haven't done any knitting other than finishing my socks. So haven't really been into knitting too much. I've been really into a crochet mood lately. Haven't done any progress on my hitchhiker shawl. So we'll see when I get around to that. I'm just kind of puttering away right now. So yeah, that's it for finished projects. For acquisitions, I have a few, not too many. I've still been trying to be good with my use your yarn before you buy any. So I've used quite a bit of my stash yarn lately. I was actually looking, I was having trouble picking yarn for my March square, because I like to use the variegated stuff, but and it's not that I don't have any, it's just not the right colors, but my stash is slowly dwindling away, so that's kind of nice. But as I say that, I do kind of replace it with new stuff, but I've been trying to be better about making sure I have a project I want to do first. So my one acquisition, so I was at Walmart and I picked up a crochet magazine. It's Crochet Now. It's a UK crochet magazine, so all the terminology is UK, which is fine because as long as you know the difference that they call certain stitches, so like what we call a single crochet, they call a double crochet. So as long as you know that kind of thing, it's fine. And there's some really cute patterns in here. And just some fun reads and whatnot in here. And it also came with this little kit called Garden Bird Buddies. So you get a robin and a darling blue tit. I don't know what kind of bird that is, but yeah. So you get a little kit and it has all the yarn in it, and the patterns are in this magazine. So this was pretty much the reason I bought the magazine, because I thought the birds were cute. My husband's mom she loves animals, but she loves birds. So I was thinking of making them and giving them to her. But we'll see, because I haven't gotten around to making them yet, so but that's one thing I bought. That was just for fun, and I like buying crochet magazines once in a while, just to look at, and then there's always inspiration. I have quite a few here. I have 3 here, but I like buying the books and stuff just to look at, because sometimes when I'm just not in the crochet mood, or I'm lost my crojo, as people call it, I'll just sit and I'll look at either crochet books or knitting books, and sometimes I'll be inspired and sometimes I just enjoy looking at them. So I like to check and see if they got new magazines at Walmart. So other thing I bought, so for my cowl I'm working on, I needed a 3mm crochet hook, and this is the one I have, and there's nothing really wrong with it. The only thing I don't like is that the rubber kind of disintegrates, if that's what you would say, and you can feel it as you're working with it, and I wasn't crazy about that. So I have the set of Clover Amour hooks, but there's no 3mm. I think it goes from a 3.25 to a 2.75, and I probably could have made one of those work, but I really wanted a 3mm. So I went to my local yarn shop and I found, because I thought maybe it just wasn't in the kit, and when I looked there was no 3mm for Clover, but she had the tulip, I'm not sure if I'll pronounce this right, Etimo, and it's the rose, so that's the label there. And this is the hook. So I decided to pick one up. They're a little bit expensive, but I'd rather spend a little bit more money on good hooks. I'd say they're probably about the same price as the Clovers, and I'd probably, like I said, I'd rather spend good money on a good hook than have my hands hurting or having the rubber drive me crazy. So, this one, the grip's a little bit smaller than this one here, but it's not too bad, not too different. So I'll just cover it. But I'm really enjoying using this one. It glides really smoothly. You can't feel any like seams on the metal. You know, some hooks you can, there's like a seam. I don't know if these ones. This was just a dollar store one I bought. Actually, that one's not bad either, but these ones are just really smooth. Like I said, the grip's a bit smaller, but it's still very comfortable. And the rubber doesn't, or the material doesn't disintegrate as you're working with it, and it doesn't rub off. So, I'm very happy with this hook. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So yeah, I would recommend that. And I just kept the package so I could show you guys. I was just seeing if there's any information that you guys should know. Nope. Pretty much what I told you. But yeah, so that's one of my acquisitions. I'm going to put it right back in my bag before I lose it. And the only other thing I got this week, so I made a hat back in the farther back in the winter. We're actually officially into spring now, but actually it's more like spring weather out there today. It's raining today, which is, I'm happy with. It's melting the snow. But anyways, a few months ago I had made a knitted hat with dragon strings yarn, and the color was Unicorn Sneezes, which is this one. And this is how much I had left. So I didn't know if I'd have enough to make another hat, but I really wanted to incorporate it into like a shawl or something. And I was trying to look into my stash and see if I could mix it with another one of my colors, but I really didn't have any fingering weight yarn that matched these colors because it's so vibrant. So when I was looking for my crochet hook, I went over to look at the Dragon Strings yarn. She's one of my favorite yarn dyers, and she's local, so I like to support her stuff and or her work. So I decided to buy another one of hers, and I didn't want to buy another Unicorn Sneezes. I wanted to try a different color. So I tried to pick a color that was a little bit more toned down, but that would still go alright with the Unicorn Sneezes. So I ended up finding this one. And it's pretty light. So it's showing up on camera a little darker than it actually is. So it's pretty much white with some gray and some light blue in it. And this color is called Twisted. And I just liked how light it is, and I think it would work nice with this yarn here, because there's a little bit of the same kind of blue tones in here as there are in this skein. Just seeing if I can. So yeah. So I will be coming up with something. This probably won't be for a little while, but I wanted to pick it up when I saw it, and I really liked it, and I was feeling a little bit down that day, so my mom's like, yeah, just get it now. So I picked that one up, so I'm very happy with that. So those two, and I'll show you her card. Like I said, I really like the yarn she dyes. So that's all her, that's her logo there, Dragon Strings, her website. I'll link to, I always try to link to her website when I mention her. Well, anybody that I mention, I try to link to the website. So if I remember, I will link to her website down below. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all my acquisitions. I always feel like I'm forgetting something. But, well, you guys saw my Leon Roxy package that I got. So that's another thing I received. I have a yarn winder on the way, which hopefully I will be getting soon, because I was very frustrated with my winder last night. I had some leftover Red Heart yarn and I just wanted to cake it up to make it a little bit more manageable in storage, and it just was not working. It just kept tangling, and I would take it apart and try and fix it, and it just wasn't working. It ended up coming out in just like a ball. So I got frustrated, and my husband was just like, well, go ahead and order another one. He's like, you know you'll need it. So hopefully this one turns out better. I think I ordered a Stanwood. I'd heard good things about that one. So we'll see. Because all the yarns I want to use are pretty much in hanks. So, and some of the ones that are in cakes I want to fix. Because my winder screwed them up. So, the struggle. I know there are worse things to complain about, but yeah. That's all I have for you today, guys. What I might try doing from now on is just bringing you guys an episode whenever I feel like I have enough to show you, so my episodes aren't quite so long, because they can get up to like an hour. Maybe every week. I will almost always try to guarantee there will be one every other week, but I might have one every week. I'm not sure. I'm just not gonna wait till things pile up like today. And excuse me. I might just come hang out with you guys a little bit more often. But we will see. So yeah, I will talk to you guys next time. Have a good one, guys. Bye.